Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back yet again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And today I will be talking about a very famous Creed fragrance. Yes, we're back to Creed. And this fragrance specifically came out back in the 90s, but it's still trending today, 2023. There's a lot of feedback, a lot of mixed feedback about this fragrance. And so I thought, hey, you know what? Let's add this to the archive today. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel. We are more than halfway to 17,000 subscribers, guys. So please do like and subscribe and enjoy over 600 no hype videos and comparisons, clone comparisons even, on this channel. And the fragrance that we will be talking about today is none other than Creed Erolfa. Yes, Creed Erolfa, folks. Finally, this fragrance, Creed Erolfa, is now on my no hype reviews. And this fragrance right here, guys, this fragrance came out in 1992. That's right, 1992. And this fragrance was a fragrance inspired by the great memories of the Creed family as they sailed the Mediterranean seas. Must be nice having a yacht or a sailboat and going around the Mediterranean like that. But this is inspired by that. And I believe the name Erolfa is basically all their the initials of their first names combined is basically Erolfa. Okay, so this fragrance is inspired by that. And the thing about this fragrance, the reason why I'm talking about it today is because guess what? People are still talking about it today, guys. Okay, I mean, I put out a feeler not too long ago and I got so much feedback from people that like it, love it. There's people that hate it. There's people that are saying, you know, it's not worth even, you know, trying. And so, you know what, today, guys, I'm going to review this full blast. I'm going to talk about the good and bad points about this fragrance. I'll describe the scent in case you haven't tried it yet. And of course, I will give my recommendation in the end. Anyways, let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about Creed Erolfa, shall we? Again, inspired by the sailing days of the Creed family back in the day, guys. Okay, now this fragrance, like I said, came out in the 90s, and it starts off with a rather complex citrus blast. That's right, I said complex. And this is comprised of lime, bergamot, and lemon, guys. Okay, so the reason why I say it's complex is because it's not really the mainstream citrus that, you know, we all know. I feel like this fragrance, with the tweaks of a little bit more lime to make it somewhat bitter in a way, and then it focuses as well on the crispness of that bergamot. I think the overall goal for this citrus mix is for a gentleman. It's like a gentlemanly, non-super bright, but uplifting and crisp type of feel with this citrus right here, guys. So I'd say it's rather complex. It's not a simple type of citrus mix right here. And along with that clean citrus crisp mix, you've also got some herbal notes, some green herbal notes, as well as some woodsiness. Okay, so I mean, you get the point, right? I mean, this is very gentlemanly. That is the point of the opener of Erolfa right here. And so if you are into gentlemanly scents, maybe you are a man that's very respected or is respectful, and you know, you want to smell gentlemanly, not like a young buck, then I would say that this intro mix of the complex crisp citruses with that green notes as well as woody notes, I think that it will definitely appeal to you. Now, I gotta say this, on top of all of that, in my opinion, Erolfa also smells absolutely luxurious, wealthy, gent scent. Every time I spray this thing, I usually look around and I say, where's my Rolex? Where's my crisp white button-down shirt? Where's my linen pants or my loafers? You know, this is just perfect for hanging out in the marina and drinking expensive drinks, right? So this one absolutely smells luxurious, gent scent, crisp, clean. Again, this is not a citrus mix that the mainstream crowd already knows. It's pretty complex in my opinion. Maybe it's simple for others, but to me, it's quite crisp, it's quite clean, and it matches that gent scent character of Erolfa. Now, on top of all of that, this fragrance also has a ton of ambergris. Yup, a buttload of ambergris that shows up right in the opening as well, guys, okay? And I would consider this an ambergris-centric scent. This is definitely an ambergris scent right here. Of course, inspired by the sailing days of the Creed family. And to be honest, there are only a handful. I mean, I try fragrances not because of their categorizations. I try them as is, and I discover them for what they are. And I think that for me, with my experience, there's only like a handful of these fragrances that actually can do what Erolfa can do. I mean, off the top of my head, Oud Mineral by Tom Ford, Atlantic Ambergris by Arish Ledore, Osaito by M. Micallef. I had reviewed that as well. There's only a handful really, guys, and there are a lot of aquatic marina style fragrances, but those other ones have mainstream appeal, like for example 40 Knots by Serjoff or Squid by Zoologist. These are very, very famous perfumes, guys, with that aquatic marine feel. And I would say that the big difference is that this fragrance, Erolfa, doesn't really compromise. I mean, it's not about compromising with the mainstream, giving them something sweet or spicy or anything like that. This fragrance just straight up says this is a gentleman, a wealthy member of the Creed family, masculine, that either owns the yacht or the sailboat or a fleet of yachts, and he's out there at sea with that Rolex or that GMT Master on or something, and he's taking in the waves, he's taking in the saltiness in the air. And that's precisely what this ambergris does, mixed in with the gent scent formula that Creed put in Erolfa back in the 90s. Now, I think with this mix, this is the point where either you're hooked or not. Either you're hooked or not. Either you get it and you know the vision and inspiration and it mixes well with your fragrance goals and you like this opening part right here, or it just doesn't. And either way is fine. I mean, if you're not having that frame of reference right there, you're not feeling it, that's totally fine. But I know for sure that there are a lot of gents that love these wealthy gent scent fragrances that really, I mean, can go from a guy in his like mid-20s all the way to, I think, 60s. I mean, you can be 60 and you can wear Erolfa and you can still consider this awesome. So it goes across almost all ages as you age. And for me, I'm 40. I'm really liking how this fragrance has that gent scent feel, wealthy, clean, crisp, like I said, but then also you get a lot of that ambergris, that salty mineralic ambergris that really makes you think about, you know, seaside occasions, or maybe if you yourself have some memories like sailing or going on a yacht or going on a cruise, definitely you'll get the feels right here with Erolfa. Now, we're not done yet with the opening. If you're still listening right now and you're liking what I've been saying, then there's another dimension to this, guys. I would say like an hour in, this fragrance is when you have these sweet, fruity, and floral notes. Right here, you are gonna get little whiffs of melon, that's right, melon, as well as floral violet, guys. These are sweet notes, and the thing that I like about it is that it comes in, or they come in, these sweet notes come in at the right time. I mean, an hour in, when things get salty and citrusy and you feel like you need something, a change. At least for me, that's how I felt. That's when the melon came in. Whiffs of those melon, the melon note, as well as floral violet. Sweet notes basically come out. And what I do like as well is that it's not an overload. Matter of fact, it's the amount where you sniff it and you kind of want more. They don't precisely give you a lot of sweet notes, but it's just enough. And I think it denotes the feeling of the breeze in the air. Kind of like a beautiful, like airy breeze of sweetness, fruitiness, and a little bit of that floral violet right there. I think it's absolutely perfect. The timing is perfect that these notes come in at the hour mark. Now let's talk about the mid. And the mid, in my opinion, happens 1.5 to 2 hours in. And that means you have about 2 hours max coverage on that initial part of this fragrance, guys. Now, right here in the mid, it definitely becomes more green spicy for sure. And that's with the note of pine with ginger and nutmeg. Okay, so the pine note is something that I believe perfumers have been using back in the 90s as, you know, kind of like a gent scent type of note. And you are gonna get an abundance of pine right here, like I said, with a mild ginger and some nutmeg to make it green and spicy here in the mid. Now, you're also gonna get continuance notes from the sweetness. So you are gonna get the melon, remember guys, as well as the violet, but then eventually that does evolve to jasmine and cyclamen. Okay, so the other floral notes do pop out here, guys, as a continuance, but I would say the mid to me is characterized by a green and spicy gent scent mix. Okay, it's a pretty solid mid with some sweetness, some florals, just as a continuance from the start. Now, a lot of people are saying, as you know, about Erolfa, that this fragrance, the performance is absolutely horrendous. And there are some people that are saying that the new batches of Erolfa, they don't even last more than 30 minutes. Now, this sample right here that I have been testing came from the formative days of the channel. So that's around like 2020. And we had some friends really send me some decants to try. And so safe to say that this is a 2019 to 2020 batch. And that coincides very well with one of our subscribers that shared that he got better performance from a 2019 batch. And so this one right here, which I'm assuming is a 2019 or 2020, this one right here does not fade or die after 25 minutes. I mean, if I'm still talking right here, it means that we've gone past the 2 hour mark right here. And I would say that this fragrance, Erolfa, although yes, it gets progressively weaker, the 2019, past 2 hours, it's still a nice lingering gent scent. Maybe it's just not to your liking that it's stronger or it's as strong as the opening salvo, but definitely becomes a lingering draw-in scent, green, spicy with some sweet florals right here. So it's not bad. I'm just saying the past 2 hours, the fragrance sillage definitely weakens to now a draw-in lingering scent. And on the dry down, guys, you are gonna get musk, woods, as well as oak moss, and ambergris is listed as a base note, but like I said, I could smell that from the get-go, guys. But I would say definitely something that's very pronounced right here in the dry down is the oak moss. So it's still gonna be green, it's still gonna be woody. Yes, there is musk, but it's not the type of musk that curves this fragrance to a fade to black. Matter of fact, it's still clean, it's still green, it's still nice and spicy, it's still a draw in even until the dry down, guys. And I would say that the total performance for me on this 2019 batch or 2020 batch of Erolfa is 6 hours max. Okay, and that's on 6 sprays and up. 6 hours max. I think that this fragrance is basically an opening to mid type fragrance. Okay, so although there is a dry down stage, I wouldn't put my money on that. I mean, I would put the money on the opening to mid. If you thought that the opening of this one was stellar, you're gonna get a continuity into the mid, and the ambergris does last throughout the fragrance. And so this is more for those that want to have an impact, whether on other people or you want to have your own like zone smelling this fragrance, smelling wealthy and gentlemanly. This is for those people that are leaning more towards using a fragrance from the opening to mid. I think you're going to really appreciate that, you know, this lasts that long. It doesn't last as long as most other scents nowadays. And definitely I would say that it doesn't have that mainstream bridge to where it can compete with like sweet and spicy, like 40 knots, for example. But it does what, you know, it was intended to do. I will say that. I mean, you've got a ton of photorealism wearing Erolfa. It really can bring you back to those days, those sailing days of the rich, wealthy British peeps right there. So I would say I like the concept of Erolfa. I like the execution. Yes, I wish it was stronger, but for me, this 2019 batch is quite okay. And if the latest batches suck, then I hope you guys can hunt down something older than these recent batches right here. But I do like it. It is not going to be on the cup of tea of most people. It will be for those that really get the message and the vision that created this fragrance right here. Obviously masculine, obviously a gent scent, obviously usable for spring, summer, work, engagements with friends, wealthy homies and homettes, right? And again, this is great across, different ages. You could be as young as your 20s all the way up to whatever, 60s or even 70s, and this would be a great, nice perfume to wear for the spring summer season right here. All right, so that is it. That is my review on Creed Erolfa, guys. Thank you for everybody who chimed in on my feeler on the community tab, guys. I mean, I've owned this for quite a while actually, but the thing that really motivated me to make this fragrance review was just the feedback. Like a ton of feedback, a lot of people chiming in, and it's freaking 2023. It's 31 years. This fragrance is 31 years old, and people are still talking about it because it's spring, summer, and a lot of people love it and a lot of people hate it. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance right here. I mean, you probably already did on the feeler, but if you want to comment below, go ahead. If you're getting the same thing that I'm getting, whether you like it or don't, there's no right or wrong answers. Let me know in the comments below, guys. And again, please do not forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys on the next video, hopefully with a Mind Games perfume. That's what I want to do next, guys. Okay, so until then, I'll see you guys. God bless. Take care. Peace.